welcome to this week's WrestleBuddy stream. I'm Xero again, hosting. We are here with we've got a wild Bobby in the corner. I think we've got that.
That's true. I'm distant, but I am here.
Yeah, so we've got Bobby here. We've got Tyler. He has frozen at this moment in time, but he should be here. And as normal, we are also joined by the owner of WrestleBuddy himself, Alex, down in the bottom corner. Just a little thing. I've been told they're not actually planning on releasing talent as such. What they've done this time as a change, because it's Endeavour's new policy to what they're going to do it this way, is basically they've said to a handful of talents, so the names haven't been released of these talents, but they've said to, it's like, you know, like the ones in NXT and some of the ones that aren't on, you know, aren't really like the best ones, so you like, you know, Hit Row and stuff like that. What they've said to them is basically you're on evaluation. So basically they've got 60 days to improve, and they've got to use like live events and everything like that to try and get themselves over, and they've got to try and, like, you know, they've got to improve how they are. And then that way, then what it'll be is, if in 60 days they haven't done that, it's their own fault because they haven't worked for it. They haven't done everything that they can do. So that way then, so it's not the company. So it's not the company then being seen as, you know, we're just releasing you because of these budget cuts. It's the whole part of, you know, we gave you the chance, you couldn't, you basically, you couldn't do it. We told you what we expected of you. You haven't been able to get that done. You're gone, basically. Okay. So that's what it is. So, you know, from it, but it's mainly
sorry, I'm just gonna throw two names out at random for them to release. Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, completely random. Just release them, and we'll be good to go. Hire CM Punk and fire him. There's the third one. There we go.
It's mainly I know some of the things which I've been told is it's some of the people in the performance center who have been there for, say, a year already so far, but haven't actually been able to get themselves ready for TV. So they've basically been told, you know, you've got 60 days to get yourself prepared to be on TV, or you're out the door. So that's mainly what it's going to be. It's going to be talent who, like, you know, who are practically ready, but they're for some reason turn around and say, no, I don't want to appear on TV yet. You know, I'm not ready, or they haven't been able to get themselves up to that level where they're, you know, which WWE expects to have them appear on NXT TV. So that's what it's going to be this time round, rather than just going, oh yeah, you know, this person's gone and stuff like that. But it's their new way forward, and that's apparently going to be the new sort of the new thing what they're going for, really. You know, yeah. What about you, Tyler? What do you think?
I think it's apparent what you gentlemen are discussing. With it's going to be a corporate shakeup because of the merger of TKO, UFC, WWE. But you know, as sad as it is to say, some talent's got to be weeded out. I mean, they might as well go work for some other promotions, because you can almost have so much depth that it's a problem. And would you rather release them so they could be better off, or maybe even, you know, utilized to a greater extent where they just don't seem to fit the model of WWE? I think that's a lot of factors to point out. And, you know, it's unfortunate, because I don't like sitting back here saying I wish anybody would be fired. And where was it too? Because I had some internet issues. What was it not the president of WWE who was the first one to walk when this merger transpired? So that's how you could tell it's a lot of the structuring. Absolutely. And I think, you know, it falls on the talent a little bit too, because they've got a chance to get over. We can't always look at the creative teams or the producers. Yes, some blame falls on them, but as a talent, you've got to find ways to get over. And that's another perspective I think a lot of people overlook, at least just speaking for me. But that's all I can really say or add. I think you all have explained it well. And to me, it's just, you know, it's natural with the merger. I think Nick Khan sent an email I read somewhere telling especially employees to work remotely, because there will be changes. So that's all I really got to say on the matter. But it's very interesting, and I'm sure we're going to find out more to discuss as it progresses.
Yeah, because what it was the what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say then. What it was,
the game.
I'm trying to think now. Yeah, what it is obviously it's giving people more opportunities now because Endeavour want more live events as well. So we're obviously at the moment, say like they're only doing like, you know, like sometimes you get just like a Raw live event one night. Endeavour want it, so basically, so the entire crew are on the road. So you'll have a Raw live event in one place and a SmackDown live event in another place, basically. So it gives that opportunity. So 7 days a week, you will have the opportunity to get yourself over. So you could say so you'll have Raw Monday, and at the same time Raw's going on, SmackDown will be having a live event at the same time. And then obviously then Tuesday when you've got NXT on, you can then have Raw and SmackDown doing live events in different cities and that. And then the same as like, you know, the same as what would be going on. And that's how it's going to be. Is round obviously when there's not pay-per-views on, that's the new sort of way which Endeavour expects now for it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you hearing too? This is a question to everybody. Are these changes going to happen after WrestleMania 40 or before, as far as, you know, these live events? Because I'm hearing different rumors. I'm not saying they're all true, but what can you all tell us? What are you hearing, and maybe the sources relaying to you all?
My source is awful. Don't listen to him. He's actually in the stream. He's actually in the stream right now. Oh, my fault. Oh, Xero. Oh, I didn't know you were there.
Leave it to Bobby.
Honestly, what Xero? You said after the Rumble, some changes would go into effect.
Mania.
Well,
after the Mania,
it's after Mania now. It's been moved to after Mania.
Okay.
Yeah, with these super, it's these super weekends now, isn't it? That's how they're doing it now. As so, yeah. So it's going to obviously be obviously what we were saying about it. Yeah, so it'll be a SmackDown on a Friday with crossovers. So you'll have all four of these shows that weekend will be crossovers. So yeah, so you'll have SmackDown on the Friday, UFC pay-per-view on the Saturday, WE pay-per-view on the Sunday, and then Raw on the Monday. Yeah, and then all 4 of those days will be WE and UFC crossovers. So I know there's a couple of WE stars who, how they're going to do it now is the contracts. When you get offered a contract now, they're going to give you can either choose just a WE contract, just a UFC contract, or you can choose a joint one. So you can basically appear and have matches on both shows. So if you're someone like Cameron Grimes, for example, he's turned around and said he wants to appear, you know, he wants to have UFC matches. So technically he could turn around and say, I want to sign a new contract, and then he can then sign one to appear and have matches on both UFC and WWE. And that's how it'll be, because then once you've signed that joint contract, you can then, you know, you've got it there basically. So then that way, then you
can appear anywhere.
Yeah, you can appear anywhere, and those certain stars who sign those contracts will be part of these like super weekends and stuff where they'll be able to cross over. So then, like, you know, again going back to Cameron Grimes, you can end up having Cameron Grimes fighting in the UFC event on the Saturday night, and then also then have whoever he's facing or whatever show up on the SmackDown on the Friday beforehand, you know, and that. So you've then got a UFC fighter show up in a WWE ring on a Friday, hyping the match up.
You know what? I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Well, if you can do UFC fights in WWE, I suddenly want CM Punk back. I feel like that could be a recipe for disaster. I'm all for it.
Yeah. So that's what it'll be, and it'll be, like I said, and you'll have like a lot of the stars in that who don't sign up to do fights in UFC, but you'll have them like sat in the crowd, for example. So, you know, you can then have, I don't know, Karrion Kross, for example, just sat in the crowd, or you could have, I don't know, random people just sat in the UFC crowd and that for the events and that. But
Seth Rollins, you know,
yeah, stuff like But you got to think, but you got to think, you've got Lesnar, you've got Lashley, you've got, you know, people like that. You've got Sonya Deville and stuff who, you know, previous UFC fighters now who can have those matches.
Shayna,
those big ones there. Yeah, Shayna. Yeah,
Right.
You've got all them now basically now who can do all those matches. So it will be, you know, it gives those talents a lot more opportunities as well, and that, and you know, as I've been saying as well on Twitter, I don't know whether people have seen it, is people have obviously been thinking it's a joke and stuff like that. I mean, it could be kind of a little bit of a joke, but you know, he basically Vince McMahon now has got complete booking power over UFC as well. His new job role gives him complete power to book UFC, basically. So, you know,
means he will give title to Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, so I'm saying, so you can end up basically having John Jones, obviously the UFC champion at the moment. You could basically have him job out to Roman Reigns at a UFC event, you know, because Vince could come out and say, "I want Roman to hold that title," and do it that way. Then see, because Vince now has full powers over UFC as well with his new job role. He actually has more. He's been given more powers than Dana Brooke has. Dana White.
I was about to say Dana Brooke.
This
merger needs to stop.
He's been given more powers than what Dana White's got over UFC, and that says everything. Considering obviously Dana White's president of UFC, you know, Vince basically overrules him. So that's that's saying quite a lot.
I was going to ask you all, how does Dana White feel? I mean, because him and Vince haven't always gotten along. That's the interesting dynamic, I think, also that needs to be discussed. Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to learn to get along, but, you know, we hear conflicting reports that Dana White said, "Oh, no, WWE, we're not going to worry about doing much with them." But yet, how can you say that when they've just merged? So already it seems like maybe a little maybe healthy friction. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and obviously, and it's Endeavor as well who want to do these mega weekends and who want the crossovers. So really, Dana's not really going to have a say in it. You know, it's going to be more Vince. Vince is going to have to say in who shows up where. So Dana ain't really going to have to say too much in it.
Dana White's going to be really in for a rude awakening when he reads the contract and it says Dana Brooke on it.
Yeah,
that's going to be a problem. Okay, that's going to be a problem.
I messed up there.
The contract reads Dana, but you didn't read it fully. Dana Brooke walks in like,
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, you know, that's one thing there.
Xero, do we want to announce the breaking news that our friend just sent to us in the Instagram chat?
I haven't seen anything in the Instagram chat. Let me just.
I thought you opened it. I'll break the news right now for some of our fans. Mandy Rose is going on OnlyFans. So Alex, get that subscription ready. Mandy Rose has announced she's going on OnlyFans. Surprised it took this long, honestly.
She's making a lot of money, though. I will say that. It probably more than even WWE.
So. Getting a lot of money.
Now she's doing OnlyFans and her other site. So, like, there's no shot she's gonna wrestle again. No shot. And hey,
means it is very simple. 2 hands inside your pants and throw money from your mouth. Simple.
Throw money from your mouth. Okay,
what's this? The negotiation between Bellator and oh my god, Bellator's spoken as well.
Yes. You have to swipe your card from your mouth like this.
Where do I have to swipe it? Wait.
Don't ask that.
Where can I swipe it? And I'm banned from WrestleBuddy.
We've got unhinged.
And I'm banned from WrestleBuddy.
I think it's we're getting a little taste of what was it last week or a couple weeks ago, which had us all laughing. I don't know how to react. I mean, when you guys do it, it's hilarious. But I'm like, should I be laughing? Should I be smiling? But it's talk about some different psychology here.
Here, live looking at my wallet after Mandy Rose announced the OnlyFans. Wow.
Yeah. Well, let's casually move on from this then. So one of the other big bits of breaking news this week then is obviously Jade Cargill and AEW. Apparently she's done after tonight. Apparently her contract expires it's over a day or two, and she's done and she's reportedly coming to WWE.
Is it official her contract's done?
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, yeah. That's what Sean and us been saying is her contract's done and stuff. It's meant to be. I think it's this weekend.
I'll try and see. But okay.
Yeah. It's Sean said she just put out. We've learned of a short contract extension of an AEW talent, and it's not Jade, basically.
So, update on Jade.
Yeah. I think her contract expires this weekend.
Honestly saying, for Jade, AEW did a very great job in the beginning, but I don't understand why they ruin her run with the loss that she had in like one of the pay-per-views. What was the need of that reign?
Don't know.
If you are going to fuck up this much bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because she was leaving. That's what. Yeah, it's still like it. Should have just had Statlander beat her at the pay-per-view.
Yes.
Unless it was a trusting thing too. I mean, that would be my only defense, unless the way they were positioning Chris Statlander, maybe they felt like they needed to move Jade Cargill somewhere else, or maybe the writing was on the wall, like you're saying, WWE. So we might as well just finish her up.
Yes.
And hey, it's inevitable that she was want to go there. With all respect to AEW.
In an update from PW Insider, the belief is that Jade's AEW deal is set to expire as soon as this week. And while there were discussions about her staying, no new deal was ever agreed. She's not slated for any other AEW appearances.
Maybe she will appear directly in Royal Rumble as surprise entrant and then goes to Mania. Most likely.
Yeah.
She can be the top face in women's wrestling, I'll say. In WWE. She can be the top person.
Yeah, I mean, okay, then here's a question, because obviously there's rumours going around as well. Is that she is going to be skipping NXT entirely and coming straight into the main roster now.
She's going to main roster, yes.
Yeah.
I don't agree, but yeah.
I was going to say, what do you guys basically think about that? Is like, if she's... Because obviously I've had down some information that that she's meant to be getting seen as like the final boss or whatever. So she's basically going to be like the Charlotte for Raw. So you're going to have like Charlotte on, say, SmackDown, and you're then going to have Jade on Raw and that. So she's going to be like the final person to beat for it. So, could you see her that way, or do you think she needs to spend a bit of time in NXT, or what really?
I think she needs NXT, but that's just me.
I've got mixed feelings.
I agree with Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she needs to be in NXT because she will be exposed. I think, to your guys' point,
yes.
she needs to learn their training, because I'm afraid if she gets called up as a big surprise, it's not going to go anywhere, and people are going to be disappointed because we have a tendency as fans, because I'm guilty of it, to always point to, oh yeah, this is great, and then all of a sudden we see the finished product, it's not so well. So I'm with you. I think she needs more of that expertise, like the Performance Center, like what you all are saying.
I said on Uncut, she looks like $1 million, and there's no debating that. But her in-ring is what lacks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because obviously then, if you think about it, if they put her up against someone like Bianca, that's going to expose her big time, isn't it, really? If they put her up against someone like Bianca, or, heck, even if they have her versus Charlotte, Charlotte would expose her big time, because she's not used to the WWE style. That's the thing, isn't she? So that's the way behind it. So...
And the worst part for Jade is that she don't even have like one single match that you can say that it was good from AEW. Every match was kind of squash only. The only proper feud that she had was with this Taya Valkyrie. That's the only one that I can say that, it was a okay kind of match. Other than that, everything was just squash. How will she be able to perform on the main roster? She have to be in Performance Center and then to NXT. She needs time to come for the main roster and become final boss.
Yeah.
What you're saying, more development. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, for sure.
Whilst we're on the AEW topic then as well, I know obviously we haven't discussed about this one being added in, but it's come down today, is the new AEW structure apparently from next year. According to Andrew Zarian, it's moving to HBO Max. HBO Max basically for the weekly TV in that. And they're also looking at turning pay-per-views. You're going to have a pay-per-view every month. So it's going from however many it is now. I think, is it 6 or whatever? Or like 5 or 6 pay-per-views going up to 12? They usually do
like 4 right now, but yeah.
4.
Yeah. 4. Yeah, so they're going from 4 to 12, and that's a Warner Brothers request. Apparently, they want a pay-per-view every month and that, and they want to move it all to streaming and everything. So, what do you guys obviously think about that? Do you reckon it's going to help the business? Do you reckon it's going to kill the business off, or what really from it?
I just hope
AEW is going down. AEW is going down next year, 100%, because they are not able to build up a proper storyline for their biggest show which was in London, they made up matches like right before 3 to 4 weeks of the event. They're not able to make proper matches when there is only 4 pay-per-views in a year. How the fuck they'll do in like within a month for 12 pay-per-views? It will become a WWE Universe mode from 2K23. Random matches you'll just throw inside.
Yeah.
I don't. Go ahead, Bobby. I'll let him go.
I just hope it's not $50 at a time. That's my only prayer. If you want to include it in the HBO Max monthly, that's great. I'll gladly do that. If you want to charge an extra $20, great. For 50, 50 times 12 is, what is that? $600? That's
a lot of money.
Yeah.
No.
No, that's not. Now again, if you want to do 20 a year or 20 a pay-per-view, that's doable. But like, ugh. Nah, I don't think they would do that. I don't think. I hope not, at least. But I don't know. It feels like to me AEW pay-per-views would become less special like that.
The only other way which I mean, the only other way which I can see them doing it is obviously because don't forget Tony owns the Ring of Honor. What's it called? Ring of Honor Club thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So unless they move the pay-per-views to that, which means you've got to buy a subscription to be able to watch that. So, maybe he puts it on Ring of Honor Club to get people on that streaming platform for it. And that way then he can control the pricing, can't he? Really, the pay-per-views rather than leaving it in Warner Brothers' hands or or whichever pay-per-view operator he uses. So that's that one. What about you then, Tyler? Obviously, what do you think about the whole AEW situation next year?
I mean, I hope they're successful. I don't know that it's going to kill the business with respect. I think Tony Khan is seeing what WWE is doing. He's actually seeing what a lot of companies are executing with their streaming platforms. And he's kind of seeing, well, as much as I would rather them be on TBS or TNT where I could watch a Collision or Dynamite if I wanted to check it out. And I'm with Bobby, the pay-per-views, my goodness. That's why, it's hard for me to always watch them because the expenses. It's just, I do see the other side of it that, hey, listen, HBO Max, I think you guys can help me out. Is that still under the Warner Brothers Discovery ownership? I believe it is, but somebody can help clarify. So I think, Tony's trying things. I've been critical of him as well, but I'm trying to see the positive out of all the negativity and the negative press. Now, I will agree he shouldn't come out on Twitter all the time and announce everything, but unless it is a major deal. But this would be a great deal for them. The only problem is I'm kind of like you guys. I don't think they need a pay-per-view every time. That was one thing that hurt Impact in the beginning. And I was a big fan of TNA early on, but it was kind of hard to keep up because they were doing one every month. And I get their business model at the time because I went there. I wouldn't know how to run a wrestling company, but it would seem to me logically that, like Bobby was saying, keep it special, run a little bit more than 4 if you want to, but don't do it every month because, man, you got to have time for your shows, your house shows to build upon storylines would be kind of the way I would think of it. So that's all I'm going to add there.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I don't understand how they're going to do like the 12 pay-per-views a year because that's obviously what Alex was saying. They can't build a story up basically for their biggest shows. So how are they going to build them up month by month? And you got to think they're potentially losing Jade. They've lost CM Punk. I think a lot of others are going to make the jump as well because now Jade's obviously coming over as well. You're going to end up losing Ricky Starks because of course he's like best friends with Jade and everything, and he was good friends with Punk and everything. So you're going to end up losing Ricky Starks
and Cody.
You've obviously lost and Cody. Also Moxley, obviously he's been told he's got the arthritis of a 70-year-old. Today, so
not shocking.
So he's going to start taking it slow as well. So he's probably going to be either taking time off soon, or
Brian Danielson is also going off next year. He said, So obviously, So you're not really going to have, because what you're going to have every single pay per view, you're going to have Omega, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks basically on every single pay per view just to try and do it because I can see FTR walking as well after all this, after all the Punk stuff. I can see them walk in and, they're going to lose quite a lot of people. So I can't see it working well, basically, for it.
Yeah, correct.
We shall see.
Yeah,
it's a shame. I mean, because it's a lot of valuable talent, and Buddy, Tony Khan in AEW as a young company could use a Bryan Danielson, which I think their relationship is good. I'm not so sure about FTR. I would hope so. They're at least going to work through the contracts, like you said. But we're talking like whether you're critics or supporters of these stars, they are the stars. And I got to be honest, Collision was more worthwhile. It's changed and became part of me, kind of like Dynamite, which is okay. But you want them to be different. That Tony Khan really needs like some advisors, some even creators, contributors.
Vince Russo.
I think obviously because even if he's got a good idea, let's just I know I'm going to get flack, but I'm trying to actually see another perspective too, with respect, with the conversation. I'm just saying, like Danielson is to me that would be the guy you utilize, and others that have the experience that can go, Tony, wait a minute. You hear out ideas, kind of like a delegation. I think that's healthy for any booking committee, as they used to say in the territories there. I think that was termed in WCW back when Ric Flair was booking. You had Kevin Sullivan and Jim Cornette and a lot of those personalities.
Yeah, I agree with you. So that's obviously the AEW stuff. I can't think of anything else, obviously, from AEW wise that needs to be covered. Let's move on into a really good topic then that I know that everyone's been looking forward to talking about. So we had the best return of the century this week, just gone on Raw. Obviously, right at the end of the show, we had a Nia Jax show back up. So, I'll pass this one over to Alex to talk about, I think, because, he's been well looking forward to talk about this.
Alex, the floor is yours, my man.
Honestly saying, I don't understand why they bring that woman back. Okay, it is not like that because of IWC hates Nia Jax, so I also hate Nia Jax. No, the thing is, I don't find her as a good wrestler, I'll say. There are many big wrestlers, the women wrestlers that I have seen in the past, like Awesome Kong was there in TNA. She did a great job. She had a great run that time. Nia Jax, no, it is just no for me. She don't have anything. She don't have mic skills. She don't have in-ring skills.
No.
I find her very dangerous sometimes. There are many times that she injured many people, and against Rhea Ripley you are putting her seriously against Rhea Ripley directly.
And Raquel as well. Yeah, and Raquel.
Yes,
both of them. Yeah.
They were having a really good feud because they had a very good feud in NXT as well. Rhea and Raquel. Why you are putting this woman in between? What is the need?
It was Vince's leaving gift, wasn't it? Before he lost total control of the company. That was Vince's leaving gift.
The thing is, Nia Jax should sit in the top of Vince's head, so Vince should die. Nothing else.
Whoa! Alrighty.
That was a bit.
There was no need to bring that person back. Everything is going very well. Women's wrestling is getting much better. Becky Trish rivalry was fine, but in the end they delivered so good when they had the steel cage match. Why you bring a woman back who always fuck up things? Why? What is the need? You want to put her in Bloodline or something like that? Bring Tamina back. Tamina is 100 times better than Nia Jax.
Both of them.
No, I mean Nia Jax.
They could be the next women's tag champions, Nia and Tamina.
No, Nia Jax. No, Nia Jax. Shayna Baszler and Tamina is fine for me. No, Nia Jax.
Oh, it was Nia and Shayna, and wasn't Tamina chance for somebody?
Yeah,
I think so. Tamina was there for some time. I think so.
I don't remember who she was tag champs with, but
she was.
Yeah,
it was very bad taste for me when I saw Nia Jax back and against Rhea Ripley. If you want to bring her back, at least just bring her back in some sort of surprise kind of thing. Don't put in the women's championship straight. Wait for a bit. At least build. I know she is like a performer back in the day, but not now. No, please.
I mean, obviously, then, so moving on from that really excited fan there, and Alex, about Nia Jackson. So, what do you think, Tyler? Then we'll move on to you now, and Tyler, what do you think about the whole Nia Jax situation and stuff, really? Right.
Well, I know Alex, his feelings. You know, I'm going to kind of look at it from another side. Just, you know, I'm going to play the advocate here, I guess, not Paul Heyman for crying out loud. But I look at it as, you know, that special attraction. Whether people, because they're still going to be talking about, yeah, she's unsafe. They don't like her, and why program her in there with, you know, Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. And it may not be the shock value they were looking for, but I think they're looking at, even if it's a short-term scenario. Here we got Nia Jax. Who else are you going to have face Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez? I'm not talking work rate, but can actually stature-wise and size to actually be credible. I mean, let's face it, you may not like her in-ring work. You may not like her even as a character, but I got to say, I think it's due to them not having any other opposition that could be legitimate against Rhea or Raquel. I think you have to even look at it from an elementary term. So I try not to overthink it, which I know we all do it sometimes, but I'm just kind of trying to look at it from a different point of view. But I do. I'm not saying I disagree with Alex on a lot of his assessments or anybody else's. It's just I don't know. I'm trying to be a little more positive because I think last episode we were all kind of negative, so I was trying to kind of bring it back a little bit. So.
Yeah. Well, okay, and Bobby, what about you then? What's your thoughts on the whole Nia Jax situation then?
It's pure chaos, and I like chaos. But I have a funny story. I was listening to it Monday. I wasn't watching, and all I hear is, "Oh my God, it's Nia Jax," and I'm like, "What? Like, not, huh?" I open my phone and I see her. I'm like, "Oh my God, they brought her back again. Second time this year." They even botched her number 30 at the Rumble. She just has that effect on people. You guys remember that? It didn't even start counting down. Her music just went off, and it's like, wait, what just happened? Oh man, I don't know. I mean, Tyler does make a good point. Stature-wise, she does hold up to Ripley and Raquel, but let's just hope she doesn't kill anybody. Let's just hope.
Yeah. I mean, that's that one. That then leads me into the next topic, then, obviously, which I thought we'd bring up, since we've got a bit of time, is there's been some rumours come down from Boozer Wrestling this week about there's discussions about weight classes coming into WWE now. And that, what do you guys obviously think on this one? Because I mean, if you think about it, then if you've got weight classes, you're literally then going to end up now having probably a year's program between Nia Jax and Piper Niven's. Basically, you know, that's what you're going to have with that weight class.
Oh God!
You know, but that, in my eyes, the way obviously I see it as well is that would mean then that they're probably going to bring back the cruiserweight division. You're probably then going to have then like, you know, so it'll kind of go like the UFC. So you probably have cruiserweight, you then have light heavyweight, super heavyweight, stuff like that. Really, you know, what sort of do you guys sort of think on that? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you kind of think it's a bad thing, or what really? Do you think it benefit business? You know, just discuss away really. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll take it. I don't want the weight classes, honestly, because like I think about it, like all the great title wins, like Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, even if you put in weight classes, those magical moments don't happen. So yeah, I'm gonna have a hard pass on that one. Pretty much that's all I got on it.
Yeah. What about you, Alex? Then let's move on to Alex.
I agree with Bobby because weight class thing suits on UFC only. Here we have like WWE Championship, Universal Championship. Rey Mysterio will never become World Heavyweight Championship if they were weight class. So if they want to insert this class thingy, I'll say they should bring back cruiserweight because there's a need of bringing back cruiserweight division. It was pretty good. But other than that, like lightweight, middleweight, featherweight, there are so many weights in UFC. There's no need.
Agreed.
It will actually fuck up the entire title structure of WWE that we are watching from the past 30-40 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. What about you then, Tyler? What do you think about the whole weight situation, really?
I agree with both Bobby and Alex, what they're saying. I think you got to leave it out. Like you guys were bringing up the examples of Rey Mysterio and a lot of those guys that you'd like to see the underdog, even if it's because they can actually make it believable. Some, of course, can be unbelievable. Unbelievable too, but it's what I was trying to get at. But, some UFC things need to stay UFC where WWE needs to keep their structure. So, yeah, it's hard to really have a counter argument to that because I don't. It's okay to have the merger, just don't try to change everything.
Yeah.
I mean, another example right now is Chad Gable and Gunther. If you put in weight classes, that's not happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good example.
Going back to that, actually, what Bobby was just saying there is, I think this is mainly stemmed from because Gunther's been calling the Intercontinental Championship the heavyweight Intercontinental Championship. If you notice, whenever he cuts a promo, he won't call it the Intercontinental Championship. He calls it the Heavyweight Intercontinental Championship. And on the actual title, somebody brought this up to me the other day because I actually had a look at it. If you actually look at the title close up, on the actual belt, it says the word heavyweight on it.
Really?
On the actual Intercontinental Championship, it's really small. It's down the bottom. It's got the Intercontinental Champion around the ring bit. Underneath the WWE logo in the middle, it now says heavyweight on it on the new on the new title and that. If you literally zoom all the way in, I've got a picture here if need be, which I can obviously send over to people. But it's
I'm looking, man.
I'm also
loading.
Yeah, it's written.
Yeah.
It's written heavyweight. Yes.
Yeah. It says heavyweight on it, and that's where it's like, that's. So
Intercontinental heavyweight champion.
Yeah. Yes. So Gunther's obviously started calling it the heavyweight Intercontinental Championship, and that's what. That'd be some of the stuff there is obviously like they start calling the belts like that, and that's then where this weight classes thing has got the idea from, because Gunther basically started it off by calling them the heavyweight championship for it. Really. So that's I kind of agree with you. It will, it will kind of like, I kind of agree with you all that it would kind of ruin those special moments, like those WrestleMania moments and stuff. So, because then you couldn't have again, going back to it, you couldn't really have then like your Kofi defeating Brock Lesnar again or anyone like that, really, because it'd be two completely different classes. So you will never see a David versus Goliath storyline in WWE if you put away.
Never seen it. I finally see it. Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
So that's so obviously that was another bit of news that came down. I don't really think there was much else coming down from it. Obviously,
one more thing I got, because I just saw this. Apparently some old friends of Cena's are showing up tonight on the Grayson Waller Effect.
Yeah.
Who do we think that could possibly be?
Don't know.
I'm not saying Dwayne. I don't know.
Who have they got? Really?
Carlito, maybe?
Yeah, Carlito?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Carlito would be a good one.
I don't know who else, really.
JBL,
might be.
I like JBL with this last run. Kurt Angle would be
with Baron Corbin, good. Right? It was very good.
Yeah, it was.
I know,
but no, I don't know. That's a great question, Bobby. Because we're all kind of estimating. Because I'm trying to think of who was aligned with Cena at one point. So there was quite a bit.
Heck, HBK, Triple H.
Well, yeah.
Edge? No, I don't see that.
No.
Miz. That's probably one. That's definitely
Miz is there anyway, isn't he? Because he's
it's definitely one. That's definitely one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Miz is there anyway because he's facing LA Knight, isn't he, tonight? So he's already out.
So maybe it isn't one.
Do we think the Miz or somebody like that's going to have a match with Cena though after the LA Knight feud? Could they do something out of, or was that just used for the LA Knight feud?
Ziggler,
the whole
Dolph
you can't
Ziggler?
see me.
Ziggler possibly.
Dolph
Yeah.
Ziggler?
Ziggler?
Oh, with Cena, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Nikki Bella, bring her back.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not.
No.
Yeah, well, that's.
I mean, I love the Bellas.
No.
Hey, I don't have a problem with
it.
No.
Yeah, but no. Well, anyway, yes. Since we can't think about that, actually, one more thing which I've actually just thought of that we'd never actually discussed was NXT this week. Obviously, we had that major title change, didn't we? Between Tiffany and Becky. Obviously, Becky's now the NXT Women's Champion. I'll go to somebody who I reckon might actually have quite a lot to say on this one. Bobby, what do you think really about it all then, about the title change and that? And
you should call Tiffany by what you call her in our group chat, Xero.
Yeah, let's not on here.
No? Oh, okay. Okay, we'll mention what you call her off stream. It's a good name. I think Becky winning the belt was great. You finally got her the NXT belt. Doesn't hurt Stratton in the long run. Stratton lost to a huge name. And clearly, they let Tiffany Stratton go, 20 minutes with Becky? And it's not like it was just one manhandle slam for the win. Tiffany countered a couple times. It was a really good match. Tiffany's great in the ring. And I think, what is she, 22 years old or something like that? 23? I don't even know.
Yeah, she's very young.
Yeah, very young. Future is very bright for her. And she could even end up beating Becky back. I wouldn't be surprised. But no, Becky, it was for ratings to help get more money for NXT, and it was well done. Becky Lynch finally gets her NXT title. How long it's going to last, I don't know, but the moment was cool nonetheless.
Yeah. What about you, Alex? What did you think about it?
I'll say it's a very good decision that WWE made. It will help in the ratings, number one thing.
Yeah.
Their ratings got really good boost with Becky's winning. It was like 850k something, and I think they beat an AEW this week. I think so. In the ratings.
For the match alone, they did, because that match I know went over 1 million at one point. Just that 20 minutes was over 1 million, but the actual show.
Yeah, what were AEW's ratings? I didn't even think to look.
I think 800 something.
AEW beaten by 32k this week in total, so it was still.
So they were 882.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, it was.
So it was neck to neck.
Yeah. So they're getting closer. Yeah, they're getting closer, and that, you know.
So dirty.
So I'll say the decision that WWE made, putting main roster guys on NXT with a proper storyline, story-driven matches, that's the best thing that they are doing, which is helping NXT to build, like back in the day when NXT was really good, when Adam Cole and everybody was there. Then NXT 2.0 happened, everything got fucked up. Now again, they are back in business. And I think Becky should have title like at least for 2 to 3 months. Then Tiffany should dethrone her again before Mania.
Or do you have like Becky really go the distance with it, and then Tiffany beats her back at like Stand and Deliver next year?
Yeah, that will be a perfect one. I'll say.
Tiffany's on the chase again, and she gets it back. Just think about it. Tiffany never really beat a champion to begin with, because who vacated the title? Who was that? Roxanne. No. Indy.
I think Roxanne.
Indy. I don't know.
Roxanne originally, then obviously Indy done it, didn't she? Because she got injured.
Regardless, Tiffany beating Becky at like Stand and Deliver does so much for Tiffany. Beating Becky at NXT's biggest show of the year That will do wonders for Tiffany Stratton. I think they should do that. Will they? Probably not. But hey.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Tyler, on the whole situation and with it all, really, and the whole Becky and stuff? Yeah.
I agree with everything Bobby and Alex are saying. I think it's like they were alluding to. It elevates Tiffany. It gives her that rub from Becky. Tiffany is a great performer. I've been very impressed with what little matches I've seen from her. And to me, Tiffany's even been adamant, I think, in interviews that everybody kind of wants to rush to the main roster, but she don't mind even staying for a while to kind of hone her craft. And that's admirable coming from somebody, like Bobby said, was so young. Becky Lynch can only mentor and advise people. I think there could be something with, what's the other lady from Ireland that's really good that faced Rhea Ripley? How do you say it? Valkyria? That I think's from Ireland. I like the backstage. Right. That's about as much as I know. It's kind of tough to say. But anyways, the point is to see that interaction. And like with the other stars, like what Alex is saying, it's cool how they're positioning all these main roster stars. Like Mustafa Ali is getting, and Baron Corbin are getting opportunities, though. But yet they're not completely overhauling the established NXT talent. So Tyler Bate from the UK, I think there's a nice influx. And Blair Davenport has been impressive. Even if I don't get a chance to watch NXT, she's always in the forefront. So there's so many pieces. And hey, Shawn Michaels, I think once he settled in, people were critical, like Alex said, of 2.0 coming out of the Triple H administration with the black and gold. But now I think it's starting to settle in. We got to remember, it's just time. It takes time getting these stories together and stuff. So, I mean, I think it was epic. I mean, Becky Lynch, I like the scenario that Bobby laid out with Stand and Deliver, and even if it's a few months, it's doing wonders. And hey, it's a ratings game, so let's face it. That's all I have.
Obviously, I asked that because I've seen, obviously, after the match, a lot of people on Twitter were all like, "Oh, Tiffany's buried," and stuff like that. "Oh, Tiffany's buried." "Oh, they're having main roster talent come in and take the titles off everyone," and they're moaning. Obviously, people are, "Oh yeah, you've got Dominic holding one of the major titles in NXT, you've now got Becky holding one as well." And I know on Wednesday, well, Tuesday night and Wednesday as well, all day, Twitter was an absolute meltdown over it. And lots of other places were an absolute meltdown over it. But it's obviously, I think now people have time to digest it all, and after the ratings that have come down, it's gone a little bit better now, basically.
Since when is her losing to Becky Lynch a bad thing? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
In a 20-minute match.
So.
No.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. So, yeah.
Great match. Even though somebody here spoiled it for me, but that's okay.
Yeah. And people, they put too much into wins and losses was another thing that you brought up. I think that's one thing, even as a fan, I was very fickle about. I'm like, it's really not about just wins and losses. What are they telling in between the match and the start to finish? And then, and we get in such an uproar when, really just calm down. Sometimes we do need to take the 24 hours and just relax. I think Bubba Ray Dudley was even saying that on Busted Open. Hey, listen, he was saying the same thing. This is a win-win.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everyone in here that, it is a win-win in that. But, I just thought we'd better get everyone's opinion, just see what everyone says.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Obviously, that's sort of everything that's come down this week, news-wise. Obviously, we covered the big points there. Is there anything else that anyone else would want to cover?
Rock versus Roman?
Oh, yeah, Rock versus Roman, yeah. So, obviously, then, might as well go into that then. So, for people who obviously haven't seen it yet, I don't understand how they wouldn't.
Look at Bobby's face. Look at Bobby's face.
I got some thoughts for this. I got some thoughts for this. I'm ready.
So, obviously, if people haven't seen this, today at time of recording, obviously this is on the Friday we're recording this, Rock done a interview on the Pat McAfee show where he confirms that he was locked in for WrestleMania 39, but due to the merger and a couple of other aspects, it never obviously went down. So he was originally booked in to win the Royal Rumble and then go on to go and face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. Rock now has turned around and said that he is ready to go for WrestleMania 40. I think the actual statement that he turned around and said was, it was never about him worrying about injuries. It was never about the schedule, because he controls his schedule. It was all to do with he wants to make that magical moment, and it has to be the right time. And obviously now he's turned around and said he's willing to do WrestleMania 40. So now it seems that it's going to end up being Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 40 this year. Possibly for the title. Well, it's going to definitely be for the title, because Roman probably ain't going to be about to even drop the title before WrestleMania 40 match. So, what are your guys obviously thought on this one? We'll leave Bobby till last, because he's already been going off at me about it. So let's go to Tyler first, then, shall we? And just obviously see what you think on this one, then. Right.
I think it should come as no surprise, because the rumors were out there. The Rock even disclosing on Pat McAfee. He's probably thinking, like I think we discussed off air, that the mergers happened. Nick Khan's gave him permission to kind of talk about Vince and company, and for them to fly to it's kind of the Cody Rhodes scenario, just different, where they flew to Cody's house to get him. They were going to fly, of course, to a star of the magnitude of The Rock. And to have that dream match that everybody's been clamoring for against Roman Reigns, being cousins and part of the family. And the story was there. It seemed to make sense. But I think a lot just kind of happened in between, not just the merger, but even in storylines. And Triple H being very open about trying to get The Rock for that last match, too, or at least on the Arrow Hawani. I think we touched on that before. It's just that, The Rock... I don't know, for whatever reason, it's kind of hard to digest it until you kind of get more of the details. And unless you're The Rock or Nick Khan or somebody in WWE or Vince McMahon or Roman Reigns, it's a shame we don't see the match. I think there's still a possibility, even though I know Bobby, I can't wait to get his response, because he's shaking his head already. I just think the question is, do we actually need it at this point, or is it too late? I think there's just a lot more questions than answers right now. But for him to actually say on Pat McAfee's show, thanks to your all's clip and what you were sharing, was remarkable. I mean, he pretty much broke it down in detail. So I think we'll see it. I don't know when is the right time, because it seems like WrestleMania in LA was, but then we wouldn't have got Cody's story with Roman. So there's a lot of what ifs. It's hard to answer. I'm just going to leave it to Bobby or Alex or Xero, whoever else. That's all I really can say about it.
Yeah, Alex, back to, we might as well go to Alex next then. Obviously, then I want to wait for Bobby's one right to the last minute. So let's get Alex's opinion next then on it all, on the match.
Okay, for me, this Rock versus Roman thing is getting stale. From many years we are just listening that it will happen, and I feel 39 was the best time, because it was in Hollywood. It was the best time for having Rock versus Roman. Now the things have turned. Now it is about Solo, Jimmy and Jay all are mixed together. Now there's no need of Rock versus Roman, honestly. Nothing will add in that bloodline storyline, and it is like, I'm not interested in that match anymore. And I don't think that match is a big money match also. They can have in Saudi. It is fine. No WrestleMania. WrestleMania needs either this fatal 4-way between all of them or with Cody. That's it. I can't see anybody else at the moment. And Rock, definitely no. Because what he will do, he will come and he will lose. No interest.
Whoever faces Rock, anyways, whoever faces Roman's going to lose anyway, because I think Roman's going for those records. So whoever he faces is going to lose anyway. So,
but he will not add anything in the storyline. That's the main thing now. He will just come, he will blabber in mic, and then he'll just go.
Yeah. So let's get Bobby's opinion then. So here we go. So let's prepare ourselves a good 30 minutes here then for this then. So go on then, Bobby. Off we go.
Okay, so I watched The Rock on McAfee show, at least a little part of it, when he was talking about that. He said some nonsense about them not coming up with the right story. Roman Reigns was beefing with his family the whole year. What do you mean you didn't have the right story? That's a cop-out. Second of all, what was it? The merger was coming? Another cop-out. I stand by it. The dude's the busiest man in Hollywood. He can't commit. he won't get cleared to fight again because of what happened last time. At WrestleMania 29, I believe it was, he fought, he got legit hurt, and that pushed back one of his movies by like months. Mm-hmm. They're never going to allow that. Now, we are currently in the era of a strike in Hollywood. If the strike is still going on in April, maybe. I'm not ruling it out. This would be the time to do it. But, like Alex said, the dude couldn't even show up in LA. So, like, what perfect time? Rock's Hollywood star. It was at SoFi Stadium in Hollywood. Why would you not just do it there if he could have committed? The story would have been there. The story would have been perfect. And it probably would have gone over a lot better, him beating Roman Reigns than him beating Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry. The story would have gone over a lot better if Roman Reigns beating The Rock than Roman Reigns beating Cody Rhodes. But I digress. I have been down this rabbit hole too many times with The Rock, and I'll believe it when I see it. That's all. Rant over for now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so that's, I mean, my personal opinion, I think I've just got that niggling feeling that it's potentially going to happen because he turned around and said that he was obviously locked in. I understand that, he could have obviously been making that one up, but he did say that he was potentially locked in for it. And like I said, his statement, because I've seen the statement, I've just literally pulled it up again now, and he says that he definitely turned around and said in the on the clip that it wasn't about injuries, it wasn't about the scheduling because he controls the scheduling for what he does. It's more about the perfect moment, and it just wasn't the right moment at the time, especially with the merger and everything obviously coming up. So, well, obviously with the selling that happening and being discussed at the time, but I think as well personally, it's more now to do with it's under TKO. Whereas under Endeavour now, they've got a lot more money. So imagine that payday for him. He's been out of business for quite a while now in Hollywood and that. And
because he needs the money. He's struggling right now.
Well, no, I don't mean about that. But I mean, if they approached him now and someone said, we'll offer you, I don't know, 15 to 20 mil to come in and do it, you're going to snap that up, aren't you? It's especially, yes, I understand the strikes on that, and obviously, he doesn't need that money in that now. But if you're offered 15 to 20 mil by Endeavour to basically come in and do one match, you're gonna do that match, no matter what, basically. And that you're basically someone to say, right, I'm not filming around these times, I'm doing this for it. But I mean, it is obviously still nothing's confirmed at the moment. Obviously, he just said that he's available for it. He wants to do it. And
I've heard this before.
Perfect time. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He said for 37. He goes, I'm open to working Dallas. Never to Dallas. Yeah. I'm open to working LA. Never to LA. I'm open to working Philly. I'm over it at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, we might as well then, actually, because we were saying about this last week, we might as well end the stream then with this last little bit then. So, because this was one of the original plans that we discussed whilst Bobby was on, was WrestleMania predictions at the moment then. Who do we see? What matches do we see then for WrestleMania then? For WrestleMania 40, this early out. Let's just do the main ones then. So who do we see Rhea facing really? So if obviously, we'll use the current champions at the moment, so we won't say that any title changes happen in the meantime. So Rhea versus who? Who's everyone got?
Man.
Mania.
Becky? I'll say Becky.
That's who I was. Nia Jax, hopefully, and Nia Jax beats her. And Nia Jax beats her. That's what we need, and it's what we want. Well, what some of us want. Some of us just like chaos. That's an interesting turnaround with Becky, though. I don't know if you guys can hear my dogs barking outside, or my dog. Oh, yeah, she's going crazy about something. No. Hey, calm down.
Who do you reckon, Tyler, then? What do you reckon facing Rhea then at WrestleMania?
This is a lot more complex, actually, because Becky's a great choice. And, trying to see some of the possible opponents, who's injured right now, who's healthy, and without doing the same old formula. I mean, you can't really go Charlotte, can you, again, without people getting kind of tired, even though that was a great match. How many times can you do it? And I'm trying to think of some of the ones that are stepping up. That's what's tough about WWE. In a lot of companies, you only have so many women. Huh? What'd you say?
Brandy Rhodes.
Brandy
Now we're
Rhodes.
really,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
Nia
yeah,
Jax
no-
with Brandy Rhodes. Let's do it.
No offense to Brandy, I just can't see that. But I guess I'm gonna have to go with
Ooh,
Becky, like you all are
Brandy
saying.
Rhodes. All right, I'll go with
I just-
Becky, assuming she loses the title by then. But why not do Rhea versus Bianca?
Well, that's a good one. Yeah, Bianca
yeah.
would be a
Yes,
good choice.
yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you
mean,
brought her up. That's a good one.
in my eyes, I've got two. I think either if Jade does come in, they'll do Jade Cargill versus her for it. So you'll have that one. Plus, as well, a second one which nobody's thought about, who should be back by then, a returning Alexa Bliss, because she's due in December. She's obviously her baby's due.
Okay.
Yeah, she's due in December / January, and she's already turned around and said that she's planning on coming straight back after. Well, she's going to take a little while off, but then
That's a great option.
yeah, she said she wanted to be back for WrestleMania 40, and she was actually going to get straight back into training as soon as she's had the baby. So I mean, that's the options. There is either Alexa Bliss or
That's a very good option.
Yeah, Jade really for it. That could be two there. Who else we got? So obviously at the moment Io Sky. So who can we see Io really facing? Who would you say? Really?
They're already doing
Io will
Oscar.
drop the title before Mania.
Yeah, I don't see her walking in as champ.
Yes.
No.
Charlotte walking in as champ.
Yeah.
I still
No.
see Bailey turning
No.
on her. I think we're still going to see it.
I mean,
Bailey Io would be a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
There's still time.
Bailey versus Io is a good one for Mania.
I'm gonna throw something into it now. Is obviously if we go back a couple of months ago, there was obviously those rumours of Kairi Sane coming into WWE. So how about they finally do Kairi versus Io at WrestleMania? Because of course there was those rumours, wasn't there?
That'd be a good one.
Or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
Damage Control triple threat.
Yeah, Damage Control triple threat. Yeah,
Ooh.
because Dakota should be back by then, shouldn't she? I would have thought.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
I'm not
Maybe.
yeah,
sure.
for the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work. Obviously then Roman, we've already had that debate, so it's either going to be Rock or Cody for that one. So what about Seth Rollins then? If Seth's still got the title at that point,
Well, he was another choice. I think we're all thinking of, but it's hard once again to process everything. But Seth's name definitely came up. But Cody probably seems more likely to be the guy because they'll continue it somehow.
Yeah. So any
Give
other
me
matches
Drew.
that you can really see? Yeah, any other matches that you can really see? I mean, like, do we see Gunther still going through to Mania as Intercontinental Champion, or
No,
I think
no.
Gunther will also drop the title before Mania.
I think Gunther's dropping the title next month.
what's Chad
What
Gable?
if Gunther's the guy that could challenge Roman? I don't know that he's
I
going to
was
beat
thinking
him, but
about
could
that.
that be another? Yeah, since you mentioned you don't like it with Roman. Okay.
Give me Drew versus Seth at Mania. Drew beats Seth and finally gets his moment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm all for
can, I can see in one of the main events it's going to be LA Knight because he's currently rumored to win the Royal Rumble. He's currently rumored to be the favorite to win the Royal Rumble. So I mean, I
Then
can see LA Knight versus someone.
Rollins if Rollins will not lose the title before Mania.
Yeah.
If he will not lose.
Yeah. I mean, I did see an interesting thing the other day, and it had me thinking was, how about if say the Miz beats Seth, for example, and that to have one more title run, and then redo LA Knight versus the Miz for the WWE Championship, and then for the World Heavyweight Championship or that, and then LA Knight finally gets his LA Knight finally gets that big thing by winning the title off of the Miz after all this feuding, and obviously after this whole thing, because they could end it say this month or whatever at the next pay-per-view, and then they could leave it a couple of months and then just bring it back in again. Say the Rumble, LA Knight knocks out the Miz or something like that, or something like that.
The thing is, Miz can be used as a transitional champion. That's true, but not beating Seth. I can't see that happening.
No.
I mean, and LA Knight, I don't think he needs to be a champion either. I think some people don't need to be champion. He's over without.
Not now. Yes, not now. Later, yes, not now. I'll say Drew versus Seth Rollins for this Mania.
Do it. He doesn't even have to win the Rumble. He can win the Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that means Cody might go back to back. Oh no, we don't want that. No.
And Roman, I will say Roman with Cody or this fatal 4-way of Bloodline.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I would take that. Seth and Drew and a fatal 4-way Bloodline. Yes. I'm good with that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that would work. There is one other interesting thing that's just come down now. Again, Boozer Wrestling, whilst we've been on the air recording this, is he's dropped down that they are currently discussing Santos versus Ray. So that would be the two sort of
at WrestleMania.
Either at WrestleMania or for beforehand, it's going to be Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio at some point. I think we spoke about this a couple of weeks back actually on here that they were looking to do the the whole sort of two LWOs, and that could probably be the start of they do it.
I'll say Xero in this that this LWO thing is not connecting very well with the people. The current LWO. I feel that Santos needs to bring back the Legado del Fantasma, which he was doing in NXT, his faction with these two guys. That heel faction was perfect for him, and Zelina with them, it is perfect. They should bring back that thing. And against Ray, yes, one guy against 4 guys, underdog, really good one. He should turn heel very soon.
LWO.
He's not able to connect properly with the crowd.
So it's getting stale, you think?
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously. So I mean,
I want to ask you guys one thing. I want to ask you. Sorry for interrupting all of you. What do you guys think about this Bad Bunny statement that he wants to fight Roman?
I mean, sure.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
If you want publicity on your show, yeah, dude. I mean, Roman did Logan Paul, and it was a great match. Why not?
Still, Logan Paul was a better option, I'll say. But Bad Bunny is like this. He'll just squeeze.
I mean, Bad Bunny's not that bad of a wrestler. I think.
I mean, he does pretty good.
I don't know.
He does pretty good.
Why not? That could be a Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. Bad Bunny versus Roman Reigns. Sure.
That's what I was going to say. Do you reckon they're setting up the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view for the start of the year already? Like, maybe they do that one, basically. So
I mean, they could. And I would think maybe Puerto Rico, if you did another show down there, that could be kind of
that could work, yeah.
Next year we are going to attend Crown Jewel for sure. Next year Crown Jewel we are attending.
Awesome.
For sure.
Yeah, fair enough.
When you say we, what do you mean by that?
Me and my wife.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like us. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna sit that one out. For sure.
The thing is, why we were not able to attend Saudi Arabia events, because Saudi Arabia doesn't give tourist visas earlier. Now they allowed tourist visas. So now we are able to go. Earlier there were only this holy religious visas that they go to Mecca and all these things. So nobody was allowed other than religious things.
How long's the flight from you to there?
From here it's like 5 hours? 5 to 6 hours?
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all right. He doesn't know this yet, but Bobby's being sent over in for representation for Xero News, so that way, he's not been told of this yet, but there we go. There's some breaking news on the air there that I'm sending Bobby to Saudi Arabia next year to cover the show. Really,
Yeah, I'll send you pictures, and if it looks like I'm in New Jersey, that's because I am in New Jersey.
And somehow we will get the ringside seats only for Saudi show as well. And I have a very long story about my experience at this Indian live event that I'll not tell you today, otherwise it will get half an hour long.
Yeah.
There are many things which got fucked up there. It was pathetic. Some things were literally pathetic. Yeah. I'll tell you guys next week show. The first thing will start with the experience of mine. That how the organizers of the show, they legit scam people, bro. They legit scam people in the event. The organizers. They promised something else. We didn't get shit.
Oh, really?
It was like that.
Yeah.
Yes. So there are many things that I have to tell.
That's terrible.
Yes.
That's a show in itself then. So there we go. Next week next week's show, then, folks. Then tune in to hear about the Indian India event and the scamming that happened up there. So we go. Some exclusives there from somebody who was there.
There's your preview.
There we go. Yeah, there's your preview for next week's Let Us Talk to You. Yeah. So once again, then anyway, good show this week. Then I do believe. Might as well go down onto this then. So let's just do the quick run through then. So, Bobby, do you want to tell people where you can be found and obviously anything that you've got coming up and everything for a minute?
No, I'm just kidding. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. By the time this goes out, go check out my Roman Reigns stream. It is tonight, but obviously by the time this goes out, it will be in replay. Go check that out. Follow me on Instagram at Bobby's Breakdowns. Follow me on Twitter at Bobby's Breakdown. Like and subscribe to Bobby's Breakdowns on YouTube. I don't have the buttons or the things. I can't even think of the name. They're downstairs currently, but yeah, that's where you can find me.
Cool. Yep. And how about you, Tyler? Do you want to explain where people can find you?
Sure. They can find me at Dustin Tyler 86 on Twitter. I've got a new podcast now called Tyler's Takedowns. The second episode is out right now. Just got released, I believe, today. And of course, hey, WrestleBuddy, like, subscribe, and follow them. I mean, hey, I've got to plug them, give them their props. They're allowing me on there, so that shows you something. But yeah. We're just all busy, man. We really need like Jericho's list. I say it all the time to remember what all we need to plug. But there you go.
Off you go then, Alex. Let's get some WrestleBuddy plugging in.
Subscribe, please subscribe WrestleBuddy, please. Respect, please.
Yes.
Please subscribe us and give a share to Tyler's video that he do weekly report. It is just amazing. Give us a subscribe to Xero Uncut, Bobby's Breakdown. Subscribe all of us. If you'll not subscribe, God will curse you.
So I'll quickly move on for that one then. So you can also find myself obviously at New Xero. Another great show then. Thank you guys then for this week again. I think we're probably going to be back to either Tyler hosting next week or somebody else hosting next week. We don't know yet. We have not yet discussed that. You never know. We might even leave you the unfortunate person of Bobby hosting. You never know. And I will apologise if that does happen right now because, that'll be
Anybody disagrees, they get the boot.
Great stream again in this week then, guys. So this is Xero signing out anyway for this week. So goodbye, everybody.
See y'all later.
See ya.
See you.